Baby, I know I didn't record episode 9, but it is okay because it wasn't nothing compared to 10. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? We are reviewing the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season number 11, episode number 10, The Wrong Road. Listen, if it's your first time here, click the red subscribe button, become a Ray of Sunshine. You don't want to miss anything I upload, so click the notification bell as well. Baby, I mean, we always here for the mess, okay? And I wasn't here for it to just start off with them like boom, bang, pow, and then roll us back like this is what happened last week. So, pretty much when the episode airs, we see them at the hibachi dinner that Tanya and Eva are hosting. We don't know what that's about yet. However, they are going back and forth, Kandi and Porsha, about Todd's 45th birthday party. So they decide, let's rewind us back one time. Wind it back 1 week so that we could know what was going on. And I'm grateful that they did because, honey, I needed to know what happened. I really wish that the cameras were at the birthday party. I mean, it was all during the same time. Why wouldn't they be welcome? Did they say, oh, no, you can't come? Because I like when they show us receipts so we can see what really happened so that it ain't he say, she say. Because pretty much the candy factory, I don't know what that one dude's name is. I don't know what his name is, but y'all might know his name, so let me know down below in the comments what his name was. But you got Kandi, you got Todd, Carmen walks in, of course you got Don Juan, and you have fucking Jamie. Now I don't like Jamie. I'm gonna just tell y'all now, I don't like her. There's something about her I don't like Jamie. Jamie is in the middle of mess. Of all the mess when it comes to Porsha. She needs to just leave Porsha out her mouth. Like her and Kandi, that name, Porsha and Dennis, need to just be removed from their mouth. Them are not words that should ever come out their mouth. Like it don't even matter. They non-factors is how I feel. Like y'all shouldn't even be concerning yourself. But you got to make yourself relevant, Jamie. So you keep fucking, doing bullshit. And I really feel like this was some of that bullshit. Anyway, on the flip side, you have at the original hot dog factory, you have Dennis. I don't know Dennis's homeboy, who he is, but he was kind of cute. Porsha and her sister Lauren. And each of them are recanting the party. And each of them have different sides of the story. So pretty much Porsha is like Jamie brings Dennis's ex-girlfriend to the party. And they are like circling Dennis or walking back and forth to be seen, which we do that. Like y'all want to pretend like that ain't what we do, especially when you be childish. If you ain't mature, that is what we do. Okay, you prance back and forth like this is what you missing, or like I'm gonna need you to acknowledge me, like I can't believe you didn't moved on. Like I can see that really may have happened, but here's where it gets a little fuzzy. Dennis says that Sherry with the lips comes up and kisses him on the cheek and speaks or bumps into him, kisses him on the cheek and, engages in a conversation where at the candy factory, Jamie is saying that Dennis grabbed her by the arm, kissed her, and engaged in conversation. So number one, I really can't see Dennis really being like that. Like, is he that messy? Would he really grab her by the arm? Like, that don't make no sense. Does that make sense to you, Kandi, that he would do that with his girl there? But see, you are so enamored, or not even enamored, but so wrapped into Porsha being messy that you ain't stopping to think that really don't make sense. Like, why would he do that with his girl right there? Like, I don't know no man that would engage in that kind of conversation, well, unless it was harmless. And we know Porsha is a hothead, but I'm just saying, if he did, shame on him, and he should have taken responsibility for that and kind of calmed the situation down. But nevertheless, Porsha ends up getting escorted out of the party for the commotion. Jamie was saying that Porsha was bumping her on her back. I I was like, now Porsha, I know you wasn't doing that being pregnant and everything. I know that has got to be a lie. Please tell me that they lying on you, girl. That's like I really needed the receipts. I really wanted to see what had happened for myself. Porsha's from Decatur. She be with the business. At least that's how I see her. Like, she might be a little hot-headed. I think she moved, you know, that she's progressed and evolved as a woman. I think that she would be considerate of her baby inside of her. But, you know, you just never know. And I wish the cameras were there or somebody was videotaping and we could have got to see it. Nonetheless, we know that we know Porsha got beef with Jamie, so anything is possible. Let me see if I missed anything. Oh, one last thing. Jamie says that her friend said that he texted, or was it somebody said that Dennis texted her the next day, Sherry with the lip, saying, "Why would you do that? LOL." Now, if he did that shit, baby, listen. This is a new relationship, and y'all know relationships take a lot of work. But I'm going to need you not to fucking embarrass me. I'm going to need you not to put me in no fucking situations where I'm going to be embarrassed and I'm going to be looking stupid. And I'm sure that's one of the things. Like, I'm in agreement with Kandi when she says she should have gotten mad at Dennis and not the girl. But nonetheless, I feel like Dennis should never have put her in that situation. Regardless of if the girl walked up and talked to him or if she talked to the girl, whatever happened, he should have made himself scarce and walked away, or made sure to bring Porsha over to introduce the two of them so that they could minimize the amount of mess. But, you know, he probably couldn't have introduced Porsha because that probably would have been a mess. Because Porsha did say, she was like, "So what's going on over here?" Like, and you know she did. So, I mean, the only way he could have avoided that was removed himself, and when he saw that the girl was walking by or walking forward, walk the other way. Like, y'all ain't in a place where y'all can handle that yet. You understand what I'm saying? If you disagree with me, let me know down below in the comments. Or if you need me to clarify, because I was kind of like all over the place, let me know down below in the comments. I'm using a new camera, so if it looked like I cut out and come back, it's because I'm trying to check. I don't have a viewfinder right now. So let's just talk about Miss Cynthia in its entirety. Let's talk about Miss Cynthia, okay? So last week, Noelle went to college, and that was what the big deal was, and my heart went out to her. That was it. That was all, the whole episode summed up in 2 minutes. Well, she's being a helicopter parent, and she's trying to get in contact with Noelle, but Noelle's phone is dead, or she's sending her the voicemail, probably because, you know, she's trying to get acclimated with being a bison child. Leave her alone, please, Cynthia. Let her grow up a little bit. But Mallory is there with her messy ass. And let me just start by saying, last week I said in my notes, I didn't know, and every time they remind us of this, I always go, damn, I didn't realize that Cynthia was the older sister and Mallory was the younger sister. Mallory sometimes looks so much older to me than Cynthia does. She is pretty, but she looks older. Nevertheless, Mallory is being messy because, you know, they having a conversation and Cynthia is nervous about Mike coming. She's all like, I don't know what to expect. I haven't seen him in a while. You know, the jitters, honey. I understand the jitters. The buildup of, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm going to see you. And do I play it cool? Do I be excited? And honey, I am a Virgo. So on the outside, I'm cool as a cucumber, acting like ain't shit bothering me. But when I see you, the inside of me is just going crazy. Know that if I fool with you and we dealing with each other from a distance, okay? I just need you to know that because you watch it. No, I be cool. But in the inside, I be all like, oh my God, excited, okay? I'm going to learn how to put that on the outside. I digress. Anyway, she's like, Mike has this big question that he has to ask. And so they're speculating what it could be. And, oh, well, he could be coming to break up with you. Child, he is not coming to Atlanta from California to break up with you, or from California to Georgia to break up with you. Get that out your mind. He's excited to see you. We saw that when he came. And then they were like, oh, maybe he's gonna ask me to marry him. And the way they kept building it up, I kept thinking, well, I hope he ain't finna, well, maybe, woo, child. I mean, it happens. I got engaged rather quickly. I knew my husband, what, 3 months? No, longer than that. He asked me in December. We were together in June, so about 6 months. And she was saying that she had gotten Mallory was saying she had gotten married or engaged or proposed to or whatever in 2 months. So it's a possibility, but that's not what he wanted at all. But I'm going to say this. The excitement that she had when he came to the door, I felt that through the screen from both of them. He missed her, she missed him, and you could see that love was definitely in the air. And I was really happy for her because she was genuinely happy about somebody. And you could see he couldn't wait to get his hands on Miss Cynthia, honey. He was watching her. His whole energy was just all into her. Honey, that whole, remember what happened on the counter? I was like, yes, be good and nasty, girl. Get up on that counter and get you some. It's sturdy. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, so that whole anticipation and build up of the question, honey, we should have known it wasn't nothing. He just was asking if she would be his lady. And you know, they were, from what she said, already exclusive for a few months. So you would probably thinking like, well, why would he ask her? Listen, I'm glad that he clarified, made it clear that I want us to be just me and you and that we're together. Not only are we dating exclusive, but we together. That way there is no misunderstanding, no communication issues. Y'all act like y'all ain't never thought y'all was with somebody and y'all wasn't. You know, y'all been sleeping together, flying around each other, hanging out with each other, going to dinner, spending a lot of time on the phone, texting and shit. And here you are thinking you in a relationship, and the whole time he all like, oh no, we was just, you know, hanging out, having fun, getting to know each other. Y'all wasn't in a relationship. He done moved on to somebody else. Honey, I appreciate Mike for making it plain and asking her to be his lady so that there is no misunderstanding what he wanted from her. If more men would do that, we would be a lot better off, okay? Tell me that you just want to have fun. Tell me at the time that you think that I'm not the one for you, and if you just want to hang out, say that. And it would clear the air. And you know, as women, we want to be like, so where are we going? What are we doing? You know, and then we don't want to seem too desperate and ask those questions, but we need clarity so that we not looking stupid. Because if we just having fun, good. That means that I'm still free to see other people. But see, they don't want that. Anyway, I digress. Let's talk about Nene really quick. Nene had a visitor, her and Greg. Peter came to visit. They're still friends with Peter, even though Cynthia and him are not married anymore. He's moved on to a younger girl and resides really pretty much in Baltimore. But no, Baltimore. That's like Baltimore. Okay, whatever. Nevertheless, I feel like he came to visit to see how Greg was doing, considering he had cancer. They talked about the removal of his colostomy bag. Greg's, that is. They talked about the commotion at the party, or the confrontation, the Porsha shit. But what would he need to know that about? Because he's not there, but he did go to the party. That's why he said I was just in and out really quick, and that's it. So he didn't see anything because, of course, Todd and Peter are still friends. But then he had Nene had the nerve to bring up Cynthia's new relationship with Mike. I felt like that was kind of shady and unnecessary. Like, she could have kept that to herself. Like, why did you feel like you needed to share? And then you gave him the opportunity to throw a little shade. I don't watch Fox News. I watch ESPN. Stephen A. White is my dude. Now you give him the opportunity to go do some research and see what this man look like and what he's all about. Baby, I can't with Nene. Nene is messy. She just be stirring the pot. But listen, that's why I like her. Okay, let's just be honest. That's why I like her. So then we see Eva and Michael go and visit Tanya and Paul. And they talk about the last week's or 2 weeks ago events. They talk about the shade that was thrown about the fashion and the swag boutique and the glasses, and how Tanya didn't see it that way. But of course, Chanel is Chanel, and it is an institution that has been around forever. And in comparison, swag boutique, okay, I get it, but she said she didn't mean for it to be shady. And then, of course, there was Eva with her situation and the bridal shower, the bachelorette party. So they came up with this idea that they would have Eva have a bachelorette party specifically with the women only, or the housewives, you know, and their friends. And the way they decide to do it is they're going to have a hibachi dinner at her house. No, let me back up. The way they decide to do it is that they're going to spin the globe and pick where we're gonna go. And they go, you know, Korea and Russia, and of course you don't want to go to none of them places, but they end up saying let's do Tokyo. And so they theme it, let's have a hibachi dinner, since I have a hibachi grill at my house, and then we can spring it, and that can be my bachelorette party. Briefly, we see Shamari and Ron. They go visit their marriage counselor, and Shamari is having, you know, conflicting feelings about really wanting to get her career back out and be on the street again versus being a mom. And so she needs to find a fine balance, and that's pretty much all that was. So then this is when it starts getting good. Porsha is starting to get phone calls from people like, hey, what's going on? You know, we see what's happening with you in the blogs, what happened at the party, were you fighting, X, Y, and Z. So she decides to invite Shamia, Nene, and Cynthia over for pizza and salad, child. She in that big house and don't never had nothing in there to eat. Don't never do nothing. Anyway, nevertheless, they come over and she explains to them her side of the party, what happened at the party, and why she feels the way she does. Pretty much she talks about the girl prancing around up and down and ends up, you know, stopping and talking to Dennis, and she didn't like it. But she also says she feels some kind of way because Kandi didn't reach out to her. She sent Kandi a text message that said, hey Kandi, I got put out your party. I don't know what happened, but I don't feel good about it. Kandi apologizes and says, I'll call you later, but never calls her. Now, at this point, she says, I'm waiting on, you know, a phone call from her. I'm thinking that she's going to call me, and she never calls me. And I can see Porsha's point here. Like, I did reach out to you, and if I was in the wrong, I would want to talk to you or see you in person to have that conversation and apologize for my behavior or whatever. But I'm waiting on you to call me back. I did reach out to you first. And so I can see where she would feel some kind of way about it being a conspiracy, that this is what it was. And Nene ain't helping them by saying, you know, because her camp threw her out, but that's Kandi's theme, that the camp always throws Porsha out or always does the bidding for Kandi. And so Nene kind of feels like, and Cynthia, nobody's going to put somebody out that I invited without letting me know first. So Nene's like, so it had to come from the head. They just stirring the pot. They just being more messy when Kandi was just probably busy, and they just took it upon themselves to, you know, kind of die down the situation, knowing that Porsha is real rah-rah, even though Porsha said she was already trying to leave. I think she said that in the beginning or whenever, but she was saying she was exiting, but then was told to leave. So it must have escalated enough for somebody to want to say you have to leave the party. I'm going to say that. I really want to know what Sherry with the lips look like, y'all. Y'all know what she look like? Give me a link. Send me something in my DMs or my emails. Let me see what she look like, because I'm nosy. I ain't looked yet, but I need to look. Who is Sherry with the lips from That Foods with Dennis, the hot dog owner? Like, that's what I should probably Google. Something I bet you will come up. Anyway, and then this is also when Porsha says, lets the girls know that she's pregnant. Just to kind of let you know, she tried to put things in perspective for them. Like, I hadn't been drinking, like Kandi had alluded, or Todd had alluded earlier in the episode when they were rehashing the events at the candy factory. She said, I hadn't been drinking. I had a clear mind because she's pregnant. And so she shared that. I think the only one that didn't know was Cynthia. Shamia, it felt like she might have known. We knew Nene knew. But sharing that probably shed some light on it, especially for Cynthia. She said, well, I can't see her acting rah-rah knowing she's pregnant. Well, you know your emotions be all over the place. If you've ever been pregnant, you know that first trimester, you are something else. You be crying, you be mad. Honey, you be, all your hormones be everywhere. So, you know, so now finally we are at the hibachi party. Okay, I feel like Tanya's a really good host. And if we're hosting this together, maybe Eva just gave her some money and paid for their chef to come and cook Heidi. Okay? Because I'm all like, you don't come with nothing. And let me say this, because as the ladies arrive, if you ever notice, whenever Cynthia goes to anybody's house, she always has something in her hand, even if it is just a bottle of champagne. I'm here to tell y'all That is how you're supposed to go to people's houses. Only people's house you don't go to like that is probably your mama's. But even when you go to your mama's for something, for dinner or whatever, you always bring in a dish, or you done been there helping cook, or she done called you and told you to bring something, or your good girlfriend, your best friend, because you there and she probably did the same thing. But other than that, you should always have something in your hand when you go to somebody's house. I love that about Cynthia. I want y'all to go check the receipts. She always got a bottle of champagne, and she had a bottle of champagne when she arrived at Tanya's house. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. So all the ladies arrive except for Porsha. She's the last one there, and Cynthia brings up the situation about the party. And I always feel like it's not somebody else's place to bring up. If I have an issue with you, let me discuss it directly with you. I don't like that whole having conversations with everybody about it before I get to have a conversation. Pretty much, you shouldn't even be talking about me, but her and Kandi are friends. And so here we are with that same situation where we are now in a group environment discussing something that happens that ends up getting extremely volatile, which ends up going to, you know, 50,000, 100. And you and Kandi and Porsha have just gotten back to a good space. And so they have amped Kandi up because Cynthia is trying to explain Porsha's point of view before Porsha gets there about what they discussed at Porsha's house. She also tries to get Nene in to help her out, but Kandi is looking at Nene and everybody like, what the fuck you mean? Like, no, that y'all know Porsha. And so neither of them want to say that Porsha's pregnant. So neither of them want to say that she it may not have occurred the way you think it had because she's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they were trying to keep that, but they were running their mouth about everything else. And by the time Porsha got there, it was up at level 10, okay? And when she walks in the door, Tanya says, you may need a shot. She was like, girl, I'm good, because she hadn't shared with everybody. And when she walks in the back, when Porsha walks in the back, she speaks to everybody but Kandi. I think that was wrong. I think that she still should have hugged Kandi and said hello. But she had already deleted all the pictures of her and Kandi off of Instagram, and she had already unfollowed her. Now, see, people is messy. Somebody then told Kandi wasn't going and looking to see did Porsha do this. Somebody called Kandi and said, did you know, girl? Messy as fuck. Mind your own business. If it ain't harming nobody, mind your own business. You know, if you know what I'm saying, like, this is something that people could have just stayed out of and not let it just escalate. Girl, listen. Anyway, so when Porsha gets back there, she says, so what's going on? Because I hear she already talking about I need a shot. And Kandi says, well, so do you have a problem? What's up? You got a problem with me? She said, are you asking me? Like, okay, Porsha, you didn't want to come there on 10, but you on 10. Like, you asking me because that was posed to you as a question, girl. She was asking. And she went ahead and explained, this is my problem. I feel like X, Y, and Z. I feel like, you know, you could have did this differently. You should have called me back. And pretty much Kandi says, well, I feel like you should have called me if you were the aggressor. Porsha's like, hold on, I'm not the aggressor. I wasn't the aggressor. I mean, it's just a big bunch of chaos. And that's what happens when you having these discussions aloud. Bitches is getting caught. You know, you a fake bitch. You ain't my friend. You know, it's just a whole lot of mess. And I just was like, it's all too much for me. Anyway, it's going to continue next episode, so we'll see some more. And I'm really hoping that things calm down and maybe a conversation can be had and not this whole blow up that they were having. You know, the point of the party was to invite them to Tokyo, Japan. It don't look like that's going to happen. Sorry, Eva. Sorry, Tanya. Y'all should have said, hey, let's not talk about this right now because we got, you know, some plans going. Woo, y'all know y'all people that y'all hang with. Listen, I probably should be a Real Housewife of LA. Hello, somebody. Widow of LA. Hello, something, somebody. Give me on something so I can show people how it's done. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 11, Episode 10, The Wrong Road. Tell me what you thought about this episode. Who was in the wrong? Was it Kandi or was it Porsha? Or were they both in the wrong? Like, I want to know what you think. Do you think Dennis was in the wrong? Because really, that's how I feel. I feel like Dennis should have helped avoid the situation. His girl is a firecracker. Period, point blank. I feel like Cynthia and Nene shouldn't have said nothing. Nobody should let anybody handle their shit. Only people should be handling their shit would have been Porsha and Kandi, but I think that it could have all been avoided if Dennis would have did what he was supposed to do when he saw that girl. He should have prepped his baby mama, okay? Anyway, let me know what you think below in the comments. If you haven't done so already, they are best friends. The subscribe button and the notification bell. Click them and be a ray of sunshine. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and like me so I know it's real. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you, you'll catch me on the next video.